my name is Shivani, and today I'm going to take you through a chair-side stretching sequence. The only prop that you're going to need is a chair. You can use a kitchen table chair, an office chair, or a clinical operator chair. I'm going to have you start in a nice, comfortable seat here, with the feet flat on the ground and the knees at a 90-degree angle. We'll start with some seated cat-cow. So you can bring the hands onto the knees, and as you inhale, roll the shoulders back, look up to the sky, create space under the chin through the front side of the neck. And then as you exhale, hug in, chin to chest, roll the shoulders forward, start to tuck the tail and create a nice arch in the spine. Moving here, as you inhale, roll the shoulders open, look up. And as you exhale, hug in, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Now you can stay here and take some movements with your own breath. If you would like a deeper variation, we're going to get the arms involved. So bringing the arms out now into a goalpost shape. As you inhale, you're just reaching the elbows back behind you, shoulder blades coming together. And now as you exhale, bring the forearms together as you tuck the chin into the chest. Moving here, again, one more round with your own breath. If you'd like an even deeper variation, you can bring the hands, interlace the fingers behind the head. And as you inhale, open, create space between the elbows here. And then as you exhale, hug the elbows together, very gentle, slight pressure on the back of the head. Okay, let's take one more round, whichever variation feels best for you here today. Opening through the chest. And then opening through the back side of the body. Go ahead and release the hands here. We're going to take some side body stretching. So starting on the right side, you might need to scoot over on your chair just slightly. Bring your right hand to the side of your chair. And as you inhale, reach the left hand up to the sky and start to create a side body stretch through the left side of the body. Maybe bending that right elbow. If it's available and you want a deeper variation, you can bring that right hand behind the back or reaching over to the left side. And here, a very gentle, subtle movement. I want you to look up towards the sky or straight out in front of you. And on your next inhale, rise back up and we'll switch sides. So now left hand coming down to the left side of your chair, right hand reaches up and start to bend over to the left side, create space through the right side body. I want you to imagine like you are growing taller in between each of your ribs here. Again, if you want a deeper variation, you can wrap that left hand behind the back or even reach to the opposite side of your chair. And then as you inhale, rise back up. Exhale, we'll twist over to the right now. So bringing left hand onto the right knee. Your right hand can reach onto the back side of your chair. And you can make this stretch deeper by reaching the right hand to the outside of the left side of your chair. So inhaling, I want you to straighten the spine, grow taller. And as you exhale, twist deeper, look over that right shoulder. Hold here for a few breaths and twist everything. Twist the head, the neck, the eyes. Finding that micro movement with your breath. Inhaling, growing taller, and exhaling, twisting deeper. Now we'll come back to center. Reach those arms up overhead. And as you exhale, twist to the left. So your right hand can come to the outer edge of your left knee. With your left hand either reaching for the edge of your chair, or if you'd like a deeper variation, coming all the way over to the right side. Look over that left shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here as you inhale, growing taller, and as you exhale, twisting deeper. Good. On your next inhale, come back to center. Reach those arms up overhead. And now as you exhale, we're just going to fold over the thighs, coming into a modified child's pose. You can take your hands, resting your hands on opposite elbows, resting your forehead on the knees or the forearms. Good. And then when you're ready, come back to a nice comfortable seat. So if you only have a few minutes here, that's a perfect chairside stretch routine where you're moving the spine in all 6 directions. If you have a little bit of extra time, I'm going to take you through some deeper stretches. So we'll start with some head circles here. First, just bringing the chin down towards the chest. Chin comes over to the right shoulder. Come back down through the center, and then over to the left. So we're doing a half neck roll here. Going nice and slow and finding your fullest range of motion. Moving the chin from shoulder to shoulder. And when you feel nice and balanced here, I want you to come back to neutral, looking straight ahead. And we're going to do the top half of that neck roll now. So reach the chin up towards the sky. Come over to the left side. And now over to the right. Now, anytime during this sequence, if you are feeling any tight, pinching pain, I want you to ease off and come back to a more gentle version of this stretch. And now coming back into a neutral position, we're going to put that all together and create one really slow circle, or what's known as controlled articular rotation. We'll start in a clockwise direction here. So starting by looking up towards the sky, bringing the chin over to the right, looking all the way over that right shoulder, and then slowly coming down towards the chest with your chin. Coming over to the left side now, looking all the way over the left shoulder, looking up towards the sky. And now here we'll reverse direction, go counterclockwise. So starting by bringing that chin over to the left side, coming straight down towards the chest, over to the right, and back up. Good, now looking straight ahead here. We're gonna deepen that next stretch a little bit. Start by bringing, we'll start on the right side here. So bring your left hand onto the top or the side of your head. With your right hand, you can reach out to the side or even come down to the side of your chair, and just very slight, gentle pressure. Start to drop the right shoulder and tilt the head over to the left side. So right now, my face is parallel to the wall. And then very slightly, I want you to start to look down towards the left corner of your chair. You should feel a nice deep stretch on the back side of your neck through that upper trapezius. Okay. Now that left hand is really just stabilizing our head. You can add very light, gentle pressure to deepen the stretch, making sure that right shoulder is staying pressed down, creating some traction. Good. Now bringing the gaze back up, I want you to look straight ahead and then slightly start to rotate the head up towards the sky. Now stretching out that SCM muscle, the front side of the neck. Good. Slowly release here, bring the gaze back to center, drop that left hand down, and notice how nice and long and loose that right side feels. We're going to switch sides here. So bringing the right hand up to the side of our head, left hand is reaching out towards the side. You can reach for the edge of your chair or wrap it behind the back. The goal here is really just to depress that left shoulder. Start to tilt the head over towards the right side. So your right ear is coming towards the shoulders. Keep the gaze straight ahead. And then ever so slightly start to look down towards the right side of your chair. Feeling a nice long stretch through the back side of the neck, through the upper trapezius muscle. You notice any sticky spots here. You may need to slightly adjust, so exploring within your own range of motion. Now coming back to our neutral position, looking straight ahead. And then start to look up towards the sky, using that right hand to support. Stretching out through our left SCM, the front side of the neck. Keep the left shoulder depressed. And then slowly releasing. Come back through to center. Good. Right, so you might want to do 1 or 2 more neck rolls here, nice and slow and controlled. Just noticing how different the head feels. If it feels good for you, you can even take a few cat-cows to work out any last tension through the head of the neck. We're going to move on to the hands and the wrists next. So I want you to interlace your fingers, and we're going to draw a little figure 8 with our wrists. So creating some movement through the wrist joint. Now, if it's possible, I want you to reverse the direction of your figure 8. It's going to feel pretty challenging to do that. That's okay. And then go ahead and release. Bring the hands into a prayer position. So press the palms together and start to lift the elbows, stretching out through the forearms. So you should be feeling a nice lengthening through the wrist and the forearm here as you lift the elbows up. If you're not able to bring the palms together in this position, that's okay. And then from here, we'll stretch out the fingers. So tenting through the fingers, bring the fingertips together, create space through the palm. And now start to spread the fingertips out. I'll show you from the side view as well. So spreading the fingers out nice and wide. And we'll do 1 more wrist stretch here. Now extend your right hand out in front of you. If you're going to high five someone. And using your left hand, pull the fingertips towards your face. And there's a couple different variations here as well. If it feels good for you, you can also point the fingertips down towards the ground, pulling the fingertips again towards the body. And now opposing stretch would be to flip the hand. So the palm is now facing my body and pulling the top of my hand towards the rest of my body. Stretching out the opposite side of my forearm. Now we'll switch sides here. Coming on to the left side. Send that left hand out just like you're doing the stop sign or for a high five. Using your right hand, pull the fingertips back towards your face. And different variations, if you'd like to move around here, you can now flip the fingertips towards the ground. Very similar stretch. Now adding in our last variation, flipping the hand so the palm is facing the body and stretching the opposite side of our forearm, that top side. Go ahead and release, and you can just shake the hands out, spark the fingertips. We're moving on to the shoulders here. So starting with some of that controlled articular movement of our shoulders, we'll start bringing the hands onto the tops of the shoulder. And as much as possible, I want you to bring the elbows out to the side. So create a nice wide stance here, opening through the chest. See if you can bring those elbows together behind the back. And then bring the elbows as high up to the sky as you can. Almost like a tricep stretch, and you may be able to bring your hands onto the back side of the shoulder blades, like a little pat on the back. And then release those elbows down. We're going to create a circle out of that. So starting by bringing the elbows straight back behind you as far as possible. Bring the elbows out towards the side, and then straight up to the sky. And then our last movement is that internal rotation, so bringing the elbows together in front of you. We'll do this in the opposite direction now. So elbows come together in front. Bring those elbows nice and wide up to the top, up to the side, and then straight back behind you. Now you can go ahead and drop your hands down and do just a nice simple shoulder roll here. See if that feels any different. A couple in each direction. Good. And now from here we'll do a seated eagle pose. This is one of my favorites. You're going to take your right leg, cross it over your left, just like you are comfortably sitting in this chair here. If it's available and you want a deeper variation, you can wrap the right toes around the left ankle. I want you to bring your hands out into a T. Since our right leg is over, we're going to bring the right arm under. So I want you to bring right arm under the left, stack at the elbows. If you have tighter shoulders here, you're simply going to start to bend the elbows and bring the hands to reach the opposite shoulder. So the elbows are reaching out in front of you, creating a little V shape. Hands wrapped behind the shoulders or the back. If you have more space available here, you want to take this deeper, you're going to come into eagle arms. So bringing those hands back out in front of you, keeping that right elbow stacked under the left, start to wrap the forearms, bring the right fingertips to the left palm, and then start to lift the elbows slightly. Now in either variation of eagle arms, you're going to feel space between the shoulder blades, nice expansion between the scapula. Any amount, maybe start to open the arms out towards in front of you. Good. Start to come back in here, unlace the arms, unlace the legs, and we'll switch sides. So now coming onto the left side, cross that left leg over. You can stay here in a simple cross-leg position or wrap the toes all the way around the right ankle. And now we're going to bring our left arm under our right. Stack the elbows here. Again, if you want that modification, just simply bend the elbows, bring the hands onto the tops of the shoulders. You should feel a nice stretch between the shoulder blades here. If you want to take it a little deeper, come to that full eagle arm position. So arms extended out, start to wrap the forearms, bring the left fingertips to the right palm. And then any amount, start to lift the elbows up. Option to even open the forearms out in front of you. And holding here. And then slowly release. Drop those arms down. Nice. Start to shift down. We'll start to open up through the hips here. We'll do a seated figure four, or what's known as a half pigeon. So bringing that right leg up, you can cross the right ankle over the left knee. And I have pretty tight hips, so I'm already feeling this here. We want to make sure the weight is balanced on both sides. Keep your foot flexed. So lifting the toes towards the knees helps protect our knee joint here. Keeping the tibialis muscle engaged. And then if it's available, you can start to press down on the right knee, very gently opening through the right hip, the glute and the piriformis. If this feels easy and comfortable for you here and you want to add on a little bit more, just starting to hinge the hips, bringing the chest towards the shin. If you have quite open hips here, you may be able to fold all the way over. Good. Start to rise back up here. And we'll take a hamstring stretch on the right side. So extending that right leg long out in front of you. Left leg is still bent. You might need to scoot towards the edge of your chair here, and then just starting to fold over the right leg. Hands can come above the knee, below the knee, or if it's available, you may be able to reach the toe all the way, or even come down to the ground. Slowly release from here, and we'll switch sides. So now we're bending the right knee. Left leg is going to come up here, left ankle stacked over the right knee. Take a moment to really balance the weight on the left and the right side. Open through the left hip. Flex the left foot to help keep that knee protected. Feeling the release through your glute, your piriformis. If you struggle with any sciatic pain, this is a really great stretch to help release that. And if it's available to you, you can start to hinge at the hips and fold forward. Maybe bringing the chest all the way down towards the shin. And focusing on your breath here when we come into these deeper hip stretches. Being really mindful about a nice long inhale and exhale through the nose. Using that breath to come a little bit deeper. Slowly start to release. And we'll extend the left leg out in front of us. So the left leg is nice and straight here, toes reaching up towards the sky. Start to hinge forward and fold over that left leg. Hands can land anywhere, above the knee, below the knee, to the toes or the ground. Feeling a deep release through the left hamstring and the left calf. Slowly release from here. Come back to a nice comfortable seat. And we're going to take a twist. So coming down, I want you to start folding over the thighs and bring the hands down towards the ground. We'll start by bringing the left hand in between the feet. So we want enough space between the feet that you can place your palm, either fingertips tented on the ground or bring the palm all the way down. As you inhale, find length in the spine. So try to come to a nice flat back here. And then as you exhale, twist that right arm up to the sky. So I'm pressing my left hand into the ground and twisting the right hand up to the sky. This is a pretty intense twist here. If this is causing any discomfort, a modification would be to simply reach the arms front to back as you twist. Holding here for one more breath cycle. As you exhale, twisting deeper. And then slowly release. Bring that right hand down and we'll switch sides. So now the right hand is going to come in between the feet, either tenting the fingertips or bringing the palm all the way down to the ground. And as you exhale, twist that left hand up to the sky. Trying to keep the shoulders stacked and in one line here. Find that micro movement as you inhale, lengthening from the crown of your head through your hips. And then as you exhale, twisting deeper. And slowly start to release here. Bring both hands down. And again, we'll come to a modified child's pose or ragdoll. You can grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. And just let the head hang down heavy. Good. Slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, release those hands, and come all the way up to a comfortable seat. We're going to shift gears a little bit and do a few standing postures, still using our chair for support. This is also a great option that you can use a nearby wall as well or table. So from the seated position here, from a standing position, we're going to come into a variation of downward facing dog. So you can bring the hands onto the top of your chair and start to step your feet back. We're creating a L shape or a V shape. So keeping the arms nice and straight and the legs straight. Start to step back until you feel like you can bring the head in between the arms. So the ears are right by my biceps. If this is too intense for you, I want you to micro step a little bit forward and micro bend the knees. So two big areas we're targeting. We're opening up underneath the arm and through the chest. Really helps to release the shoulders. This is great to counteract that forward head posture with our shoulders rolled in. And we're also opening up through the lower body. If you want a deeper variation, you can even bring the hands onto the seat of your chair and fold forward here. Good. Slowly start to release. Coming back up, I've got my assistant here, the original down dog. Good. Okay, from this standing downward facing dog, we're going to come into a lunge position. So if you can take your shoe off or you're in your socks, this is even better. But we're going to be bringing the sole of our foot onto the seat of the chair, coming into a 90-degree bend with our knees stacked over ankle. This may feel like a decent stretch for you on the left hip flexor already. If you want to take it even deeper, we're going to start to shift the hips forward. You can keep the hands on the hips here or bring the hands onto the back of the chair. And it's okay to let the knee come forward here. It's also okay to let that back heel lift if you need a little bit more space in the ankle. So this is helping to release through our hip flexor. This is where we can have a lot of tension build up through the day from sitting. This is also a great mobility challenge for our ankles and our knees. Good. Slowly start to release. So press through that right heel and drop the right foot down and we'll switch sides. So left foot now comes onto the chair. Find a nice stacked position here. You may feel a good stretch already on the right hip flexor. If you want to come even deeper, start to shift the hips forward. Maybe bring the hands onto the backside of your chair. And again, play around within your own range of motion. If you are tighter in your hip flexors, you may not need to drop the hips as much. If you have a little bit more space to move, you can start to drop the hips even further down, creating a nice length through that right hip flexor. And then any amount, I want you to find space through the chest. So if you notice here that your chin is towards your chest and you're rolling your shoulders open, I want you to roll the shoulders back and lift the chin. Good. And then slowly releasing, press both feet back onto the ground. And we'll do one last stretch here. You can use the side of your chair or even a wall, just a nice easy quad stretch. So we'll start on the right side. So I'm going to show you from here. Let me adjust this here. So on the right side, you're going to be supporting left hand for extra balance. Grab the top of your right foot. Really easy quad stretch here, finding length through the hip flexor. If you want to have a deeper hip flexor stretch, you're going to start to come into a variation of dancer. So start to kick that foot back behind you. This also helps to open the right chest. If you want a little extra balance challenge here, you can reach the left hand out in front of you. Good. Slowly release. and we'll come onto the left side. So right hand reaches for the edge of your chair. Left hand catches the top of your foot. Trying to bring the heel towards the glutes or the hips. The more you reach the knee back behind you, the deeper the hip flexor stretch. Again, you can come into a variation of dancer, kicking that left foot back behind you. If you want to add some balance in here, you can reach the right hand out in front. Slowly releasing from here. Our final stretch is going to be one last heart opener. And this is gonna involve, again, either the edge of your chair or I can show you using a wall. So we're going to bring right hand to either the top of the chair or the wall and start to turn towards the left. So the right side of the chest is opening. Now, if you're using a wall, it's gonna look something like this. I'm bringing my right hand into the wall and then turning my body away. Slowly releasing here. We'll do the opposite side. So left hand will come to the top of the chair or the wall and start to turn away from your anchor point, creating space through that left chest or left shoulder. Good. And then release that hand. Give the body a little shake. Notice how you're feeling here. Hopefully you're feeling nice and stretched out and your posture has had a great reset. This is a really great time. This sequence is a great thing to practice first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, or at the end of the day. And feel free to integrate any of those poses throughout the day as a quick stretch in between patients, clients, and meetings. And follow the website for more. Thank you.